Welcome to Robo's Rants number 17. Negative yielding bonds. I read an article yesterday or earlier this morning that the German government has just released some 30-year bonds with a negative yield. In other words, if you had a spare 100k and you gave it to the German government, in 30 years time they'd give you back 99, 98, 97k. So they'll give you back less than what you gave them, and that's to them what they call an investment. I don't see that as a particularly good investment. You could do what people have done for literally thousands of years. Every time a fiat currency does what it is designed to do, which is return to its intrinsic value of zero, and our fiat currency is doing just that, returning to its intrinsic value of zero. Whenever that has happened in the past, the rich take their money out of fiat or assets valued in fiat and they put it into gold. Or I would personally say silver, but gold is a much better investment than a negative yielding bond. Now, when the economy does go south, don't expect it to be a slow motion thing and you get minute by minute updates from CNN. It's not going to happen that way. And the reason for that is the media, or their deep state masters, don't want us to know that the economy is very close to falling off the edge. They want us to stay nice and calm. And whilst we're staying nice and calm, we're leaving all our money in the markets and keeping everything as stable as possible. Meanwhile, they're running out the back door with as much money as they can get their hands on, and they're putting it into gold and cryptos. Two assets they've kept manipulated down. So they're buying cheap assets with lots of money and leaving you holding the bag at the front. And an example of this is, I'll show you a video at the end of this, just how quickly things happened back in September 11th, 2009. In the meantime, you might also now see some rationale as to why the New Zealand government wants the Australian banks to increase their capital base. They're underfunded. And the closer we get to the abyss, the more that underfunding becomes an issue. So they're trying to get them to address that. They don't want to do it. Over and above that, they've also said, this is the New Zealand government, that they'd guarantee Kiwi deposits to 50k. And they haven't got the money. They can't do that either. That's just a bold-faced lie. So this is just more things to perhaps put together and think for yourself. But here's that video on what happened in 2009. Cheers. Have a happy day.
On Thursday at about 11 o'clock in the morning, the Federal Reserve noticed a tremendous drawdown of money market accounts in the United States to the tune of $550 billion was being drawn out in a matter of an hour or two. The Treasury opened up its window to help. They pumped $105 billion in the system and quickly realized that they could not stem the tide. We were having an electronic run on the banks. They decided to close the operation, close down the money accounts, and announce a guarantee of $250,000 per account so there wouldn't be further panic out there. And that's what actually happened. If they had not done that, their estimation was that by 2 o'clock that afternoon, $5.5 trillion would have been drawn out of the money market system of the United States, would have collapsed the entire economy of the United States, and within 24 hours the world economy would have collapsed. Now, we talked at that time about what would happen if that happened. It would have been the end of our economic system and our political system as we know it.